Ladies and gentlemen, I am incredibly pleased to bring to you Walt Whitman. This is no ordinary American poet. This man is the American poet. All modern American poetry comes back to this man. It could be argued that he is the most influential American ever, with his writings shaping the artistic identity of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you Walt Whitman, America's poet. It's a pleasure to be here, Michael. It was a pretty long walk from New Jersey, where I lived. Likewise, Walt. So, can we start from the beginning? What was your family life like growing up? Well, to be honest, it wasn't that great. My family meant well for me, but unfortunately, I was born the second of 9 children, and we already didn't have that much money. I stopped school at age 11 in order to get a job and help the rest of my family. And how would you say that impacted you as a person? Well, it meant I needed to get working early. I would say one benefit was I got to learn a lot of different professions from a young age. I got into the printing business after I dropped out of school. 5 years after that, I became a school teacher on Long Island. While doing that, I founded a newspaper, which I would really say established my love for literature. You say that you created and managed a newspaper. Did you have any other literary ventures before you became the legendary free verse poet that you are known as today? It took me a little while to find my niche. I spent a few years writing newspaper columns, and I wrote some freelance fiction and poetry. However, I felt dissatisfied. My work was not selling too great. I think it often takes people a while to find their calling. When exactly would you say you wanted to become a poet? Well, I contemplated doing either this or a real profession for a few years. Eventually, I decided I might as well die doing what I wanted to do, even if it would be a significant risk to my economic well-being. Did you start off your poetic journey with the free verse you are known for today? Or did you experiment with other forms of poetry before you found free verse? Well, I would say I initially tried to appeal to the American masses and write things similar to what was really being written at the time. But I thought American poetry lacked really any originality or American identity, so I sought to create something distinctly American. And so my unique free verse poetry came to be. What would you say that your self-proclaimed unique free verse poetry consists of? What is it that makes it so distinct and beloved by so many Americans today? I sought to change poetry and art in America as a whole by painting a picture of life distinctly American. My poetry was uniquely democratic, which was a first for poetry as a whole. I sought to do this to change the way people perceive the arts and show that they should be available for anyone. What was your motivation to reform poetry? Like you did. I don't think America had a true artistic identity at the time. All art was directly copied from other countries and lacked any originality. I sought to change this through bringing something fresh to the world of literature. Would you argue that there is a specific moral philosophy behind these decisions? Well, philosophically, I'm a humanist. I think every human's individual and special, and an entire nation of people without a literary identity seemed unfair to me. I like to think I influenced the development of realism as a philosophy, because every human deserves a place. Wow, Walt. That was pretty deep. Do you have any other deep, thought-provoking quotes that you feel might be nice to share with all of our viewers? Well, I think if I'm here, I might as well offer everyone some encouragement. Here's a quote I would always say. Keep your face towards the sunshine, and shadows will fall behind you. That one really made me think for a second. Well, Walt, I think that's about all the time we have. Thank you so much for coming all the way from Camden, New Jersey, and 6 feet deep while you're at it. No problem. It was great to share some of my life and philosophy with you all. Wow. I found that interview very thought-provoking and interesting. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. I'll catch you on the flip side.